This is just a quick refresher on changing from standard form to slope-intercept form. So here's the deal, right? When I have standard form, I have two options as to how I graph it. Okay, one option is what you just worked on, which is to use the intercepts, right? That's one way to get 2 points out of it. Another way is just to take it and change it to slope-intercept form and then graph it like we've been graphing lines all along, just using the y-intercept and the slope. Okay, so if you just remember the way that we do it, if we want to go from standard form, which looks like this, right, where you have a number times x plus a number times y equals a number, to slope-intercept form that looks like this, right, what do we have to do? Well, we have to get y by itself. So remember, the first step is we have to take this whole term with the x, and we have to move it from the left to the right. So that's going to be our first step. And then the next thing we have to do if I want to get y by itself on the left is to get rid of this number that's being multiplied by y. So we divide to isolate y, to get y by itself. Okay, so those are our two steps. So I'm just going to do two quick examples here. You've seen this before. You can actually flip back in your notebook. I'll tell you what page. Practiced this before, but you just go back and find the notes for you and let you know. That is on page 78. You already have this, okay? But this is just a quick refresher right now to just help you remember it, okay? So I'm moving the x term from the left side to the right side. How do I do that? Well, I'm just subtracting the whole thing. So that's going to move it over here. Remember when I do that, these terms do not combine. They're not like terms. This one has an x, this one doesn't. So I just bring down the x term. This is a positive 20. I'm just going to bring it down. And now I'm dividing to get y by itself, right? I'm dividing by 2. And remember when I divide, I have to divide all the way through. I have to divide everything in the equation. We multiply or divide, everything. Okay, so negative 5 divided by 2, it doesn't divide into an even number, so we don't divide it. Like, don't put this in your calculator and put negative 2.5. If it doesn't divide into a whole number, we just leave it like this, because we like slopes that are fractions. It's just rise over run. We can deal with that. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Right? So now, how do I graph this? Well, I just graph it slope-intercept form. So I just start at my y-intercept, right? Start over here at 10. This is 10. And then I'm just going to go, my rise over run is negative 5 over 2, right? Remember we remember how to do this. We graphed a lot of these lines. So I would just go down 5 over 2, down 5 over 2, right? And I would sketch my line. Okay, so that's how I would graph this. If I was given this in standard form, I could use the intercepts. That would be one option. And another option would be to rearrange it and then graph it like this. Okay, just one more real quick. Got some negatives thrown in here this time. Okay, now remember, I still have to move the x term from left to right. That's my first step. This is a minus 6x and negative 6x. So in order to move it, I'm going to do plus 6x, right? Because my goal is to make this 0. Notice when I bring this down, this was a negative 2y, so don't lose that negative, it's still there. Now this is a positive 6x and a negative 10. Now if I want y by itself, it's being multiplied by a negative 2, so I have to divide by a negative 2, right? Here it's multiplied by negative 2, so I have to divide by a negative 2. And watch, I'm neatly writing divided by negative 2 all the way through. This is a really great way to prevent mistakes, to just actually write it all the way through. Now, it's kind of annoying, takes a second, but it doesn't take too long. Positive divided by negative is negative. 6 divided by 2 is 3. That's 3x. Negative divided by negative is positive. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And when I go to graph this, how do I do it? I just start at my y-intercept right here at 5. And I go, this is rise over run, negative 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. And I'm just sketching here. Obviously on Edge Elastic, you'll be able to do it a little bit more exactly.